Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am GlamPreezy. If you are new here, hey girl, hey. And to my returning subbies, there are no words to express how grateful I am for you guys continuing to support me and returning for another video. As you can see by the thumbnail, the intro, and the title, today we are going to be discussing why I stopped intermittent fasting to shrink and manage my fibroids. I cannot wait to unpack this topic. If you want to know more about intermittent fasting and shrinking fibroids, you know what to do. Keep watching. Okay guys, thank you so much for returning for another video. As I said in the intro, we're going to be diving into the topic of intermittent fasting and fibroids today. A couple quick announcements. Please feel free to use the chapters underneath the video if you want to skip the announcements, but I'll only be a second. I just want to let everyone know that yes, I have a new website, hotgirlhealthjourney.com. This website is very new. It is dedicated to my journey with fibroids, and it is where I am housing lots of resources for fibroids, including research, products that have helped me along the way. Eventually, we are going to have books on there. I'm going to be adding the books really soon. I'm very excited about that. I also do a monthly newsletter for those who are subscribed. I update you guys on upcoming videos here on this channel and more in-depth information about my journey. If you want to learn more about my journey and you want to support, please head over to hotgirlhealthjourney.com. It is also where I have my 5-day meal plans. Yes, I do have 5-day meal plans. If you have been underneath a rock and have not seen me announce this in any of the videos, you guys ran me down about that. So I made you guys a PDF of what I am eating 5 days a week, breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner, as well as some food guidelines that I follow and a digital shopping list. I also have a free 1-day meal plan for those of you that want to check it out before purchasing. Go on over and download that now. The 1-day is limited compared to the 5-day, obviously, because the 5-day is way more in depth and has full recipes. I have talked about this until I'm blue in the face, so I really just wanted to get that out of the way before we got into the video, okay? Oh, also, use code GlamPreezy to save 15% on your meal plan, girl. And another thing that you need to know is the meal plan does follow a paleo type diet. Yes, it includes meat and seafood. If you are vegetarian and not vegan, you can still get great use out of the meal plan, as you can just substitute any of the animal protein for a vegetable-based protein. And with that being said, come on in, because we got a lot to discuss. Okay, you guys, we have gotten up close and personal. Before we start, you know I gotta give me a beverage. I am switching it up today, y'all. I am going against the grain. Finally picked up one of these POPPI prebiotic sodas. You guys asked me in my last gut health refrigerator restock, you girls asked me had I tried this, and I'd always seen it, but I never found anywhere. So today we are going to try it. I picked up the watermelon flavor. I don't know if this is gonna be good. Child, I don't know. Apparently this has prebiotics. It also has apple cider vinegar. And yes, it has agave inulin, which is fiber. It's only 25 calories. There is only 5 grams of sugar. I'm nervous. I don't smell too bad, y'all. Let me see. Okay, all right. It's actually pretty decent. I didn't know what to expect with the apple cider vinegar in there, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I would probably still buy Olipop over this, but we're gonna drink this today, okay? All right. So let me give you guys a little bit of a brief history with me and intermittent fasting, right? I had done intermittent fasting for years, you guys, literally years. If you have watched any of my videos talking about diet or meat and food, I have disclosed the fact that I am a chronic undereater. I'm not the type of person that ever ate a lot. I used to forget to eat. I would go all day without eating. So intermittent fasting for me was like child's play. I also used to work retail, and if anybody has ever worked retail, you understand what that life is like. you be on go, okay? Your lunch be like this. So I had gotten used to not really eating like that, and so when I discovered intermittent fasting, I was like, this is easy. I did it a lot in my youth. It did very much help me to lose weight and to maintain a leaner body type up until I started struggling with fibroids and hormone imbalance. So let's get into some other other things that are important for you to know. Like, what in the hell is intermittent fasting in the first place? So let me read this directly off of the intranets. I want to go to Johns Hopkins, okay? They describe intermittent fasting as follows. There are several different ways to do intermittent fasting, but they are all based on choosing regular time periods to eat and fast. For instance, you might try eating only during an 8-hour period each day and fast for the remainder. Just for you to know, that is called a 16-8. Or you might choose to eat only one meal a day, 2 days a week. So there are so many different ways to do intermittent fasting, but what I did, which I felt was pretty extreme, was the 16-8, which means that your eating window is 8 hours and then you are fasting the rest of the 16 hours a day, okay? So basically what you're doing in those other 16 hours is drinking liquids that do not have calories. You can drink black tea, water, of course, green tea, coffee with nothing added. I mean, you can't have any calories at all from the way that I was doing it. The minute that you consume something with fat, calories, sugar, any of that, it breaks your fast, okay? So that was kind of my deal when I was doing it. So what is the goal of intermittent fasting and why do people do it? As I said, I was doing it for weight loss. However, there are many other reasons why people do this. It has said to be very good for certain conditions, and the studies vary, but overall, okay, this is what UC Davis Health says. The idea behind intermittent fasting is that by restricting food, our bodies will more quickly and efficiently tap our fat stores for energy. While glucose from carbohydrates is our most direct fuel source, we burn fat for energy when glucose isn't available. This happens even more during times of food deprivation. So what I was doing was combining a very low carbohydrate diet with intermittent fasting. And that really worked for me a lot of years in my life, okay? As I said, that worked up until a point, okay? I hit them 30s and it was like, you thought. You know what this tastes like at the end? It tastes like artificial sugar, like stevia or something. It says there's organic cane sugar in here, but you know that artificial sugar taste? I'm sorry. Maybe I gotta try a different flavor. Any hooter. Let's talk about what are the benefits of intermittent fasting. Let me break it down for you. And then I'm gonna get into the real tea. Of course, as I said, weight loss, but why the hell is intermittent fasting becoming such a big deal? So let's go over to the Cleveland Clinic, shall we? Some of the benefits can be weight loss, improved immunity, reduced inflammation, better blood sugar regulation. Put a check in that one right there. Improved gut health, decreased appetite, improved blood pressure, lowered blood triglycerides. With that being said, let's get into some tea. First things first, I would like you to know that most of the studies, even in this day and age, which is crazy, most of the initial studies for intermittent fasting were performed on males, men, not us. So that is good for you to know, because obviously we are very different, and this is where the problem comes. So let me read this from the Cleveland Clinic as well for you. The effects of intermittent fasting for females, though, usually aren't as dramatic as the results in males, and the reasons are entirely based on hormones. I'm about to unpack a whole lot of tea for you. I just need to stop for a moment and remind you all that I am not a medical professional. Okay? I can only give you guys my experience and my research. I'm gonna move on to some different articles in a moment, but I wanna continue on with the same article from the Cleveland Clinic because they do very much recognize the issue here with fasting for women. Intermittent fasting can have a big and bad effect on the female sex hormones, progesterone and estrogen. So it's not necessarily a quick and easy fix for women, specifically females of childbearing age and premenopausal people assigned female at birth. Fasting can affect ovulation, it can affect your menstrual cycle, and even if you're not trying to get pregnant, those hormones and that cycle still have effects across your body. Registered dietitian Julia Zumpano, she says, I'm a big fan of fasting for the right people. It can have some impressive results, but there's the catch, a catch that affects a lot of people. So intermittent fasting is not good for female sex hormones. And as you can see, this is counterproductive for some of us, like us fibroid girlies. Some women do not experience chronic hormone issues, but for us, this may not be a good idea. So for me, as I said, I intermittent fasted for years and I saw great results up until I started to experience hormonal issues, okay, and fibroids. And it wasn't until I made some major changes that we're going to discuss a little later that I really started to see results within my fibroid and hormonal situation. So that's why I think this video is very important. From Zoe.com, and they quote, "Intermittent fasting may cause changes in estrogen levels and negatively affect reproductive functions such as menstrual regularity, fertility, pregnancy, and lactation." That is a huge, huge deal, you guys. And I get people in my comments and DMing me and emailing me and asking me like, what about intermittent fasting? I'm gonna intermittent fast, blah, 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 blah. And of course, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't even really give the advice, but I definitely tell them my perspective. I stopped intermittent fasting when I found this information out. And from that moment on, my hormonal health has changed for the better, okay? Let me explain. So as you can see with that information, this can be a slippery slope, because how do we know that intermittent fasting is or is not contributing to our hormonal imbalance? And in my experience, as you guys have seen in a video that I did like a year and a half ago at this point about how I shrank my fibroids initially, at that time I had not figured out the blood sugar link. Mind you, this time around, as I've told you guys plenty of times, I had about half a dozen fibroids this second time around with my fibroids. I was able to shrink those fibroids and significantly shrink that large one. But it wasn't until I started eating for blood sugar management that I saw the greatest decrease in the size and side effects of my fibroids, okay? I was taking supplements, I was eating healthy, I was reducing stress, I was exercising, and all of these things. Once I realized the blood sugar link combined with the other things I was already doing, boom, that's when I was able to see the greatest reduction to about 3 centimeters from that 7 centimeters, okay? It's really, really important for you guys to pay attention to blood sugar when it comes to your hormone health. And if you have been following me and watching all my videos, you would have already seen my video on the link between blood sugar and fibroids. And you would have also already seen my video talking about how I eat to manage my blood sugar. And by now, things should really start clicking for you. Blood sugar is not something that manages itself, you guys. It's not going to manage itself. You have to manage your blood sugar on your own through eating and dieting correctly. Another point that I would like to make about blood sugar is, as I said, if you watched that video about blood sugar and fibroids, you would know the great importance of the relationship between blood sugar and estrogen. Very, very, very important, especially if you're dealing with estrogen dominance of any sort, which tends to be the issue when you develop fibroids, okay? I'm not saying that's the only situation, but that is most common. In my experience, you cannot effectively manage your blood sugar while intermittent fasting. You have to eat. And the problem with this is that for me now, I'm eating every 3 hours. I'm not eating a whole meal every 3 hours, but I'm eating every 3 hours. So eating within 90 minutes of waking, my first meal, breakfast, and then eating a snack 2.5, 3 hours after that, then eating lunch, and then so on and so forth. The video that I get in depth about that will be linked right here for you, but most of you have already seen it. I know you have. Not only was I able to break through that hormonal imbalance, but I was able to break through that weight plateau that I experienced when I hit my 30s, okay? Intermittent fasting had stopped being so effective, as I explained earlier, and so it was like a magical key that kind of unlocked my inability to lose this extra weight. So if you see me, you see my face, you see me on Instagram, you see me, okay? A year and a half ago, I was 20 pounds heavier. And mind you, I probably could have lost a lot more weight had this journey been more focused on weight loss. That was just a byproduct of what I have been doing, you guys. So that's why that 5-day meal plan was so strategic, because I made sure to space things for blood sugar management. And I made sure to put recipes in there that are also healthy for your blood sugar and healthy for hormone health as a whole. So I hope that this is clicking for you. I hope this is clicking for you guys, okay? Because it's really, really important that we address all of these different things that I'm discussing throughout my videos. And again, like I said, I'm not a medical professional. I can only say what I have done and has been most effective for me on my natural hormone health journey or my hot girl health journey. And that has been one of the most major discoveries and implementations on this journey. I cannot express to you enough how wonderful managing my blood sugar has impacted my health. So again, if you are thinking about intermittent fasting, I would just caution you to do a bit more research and see if maybe eating for blood sugar management might be a better option for you. As I always recommend, that you guys look for a functional health practitioner in your area to help work with you to do those hormone panels on you that your doctor is refusing to do, but definitely try to find one in your area to kind of work with you. They would be better suited to help you determine whether intermittent fasting can be a good thing for your body or not. There's also studies that say intermittent fasting at certain times of the month may be more beneficial for you depending on your age, your hormonal profile, this, that, and the other. I do want to quickly close this out by reading just a small excerpt from rupahealth.com. They are one of my favorite resources for functional nutrition and functional health information. As always, link all of the articles that I'm citing below, as well as I will be uploading these to hotgirlhealthjourney.com. Let me go ahead and quote this. For premenopausal women under 40 years old, that would be me, it says, watch out for combining too many health stressors at once. For example, while intermittent fasting, intense workouts, and dietary approaches like a ketogenic diet may all have a time and a place. As I said, I was doing those together for many years. It's crazy. Combining all three long-term is likely to lead to hormonal havoc. These lifestyle options, especially all at once, may impact cortisol levels, which can affect hormones like insulin, estrogen, and progesterone. So, of course, there are so many takeaways from this conversation and from these articles. Please do check them out yourself in the description box, because y'all don't like to listen. Y'all gonna ask me in the comments about the things that I'm talking about, and I'm gonna tell you again in the description box, not the comments, the description box, okay? But again, I hope that this information was helpful. I just needed to pop in here and have this conversation because I am being inundated constantly with people talking about why I am not intermittent fasting. There is a method to this, which is the reason why I have been able to come out with all these videos talking about my journey. Please keep in mind, my experience may be different from yours. However, I think that the things that I've brought up on this channel about fibroids have most certainly, in my experience, been things that my medical professionals in my life have never talked to me about. You know, of course I'm not a medical professional, but hopefully putting some of this information in your ear can help you go to a medical professional or a functional medicine doctor or practitioner and ask them about these things that I'm presenting to you. I'm getting a lot of negativity and a lot of people talking about the things that I'm talking about, but you got to keep in mind, I have achieved my goal. I have figured out a way to shrink and manage my fibroid situation. So, you know, say what you will, but this journey has been amazing for me, and I have done so much research and so much trial and error, and I have really figured out a lot of things that I don't think I would have ever found out if it weren't for going on this journey. So y'all can keep that negativity over there, okay? Because I'm doing good, sweetheart. Again, thank you for tuning in to another video with me. You guys, I am so beyond shocked that we are like right here to 20,000. I'm literally 50 people away from 20,000 subscribers, you guys. That is incredible. Thank you so very much for supporting me on this journey and telling me your stories and telling me what has worked for you. I have to say that a lot of the things that I have been testing out as of late has been because of you guys. So let's continue to get down there in the comments. It is so helpful to not only me, but the other women who are struggling with fibroids and hormonal imbalance. It can be so confusing and it's such a murky space. And the more that I deep dive into this, I'm understanding that there is a method to the reason why they do not want us to be able to heal our bodies naturally. I digress, because I don't want y'all to suppress my content, all right? You know, that can happen. So I am just beyond blessed. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you thumbs up the video, you comment down below, and most importantly, you go down and turn on your post notifications, you guys, because as my channel grows and the more people that I reach about natural methods of healing, the system starts to get a little, you know, it starts glitching a little bit and it starts to suppress content. This is a real thing. I don't want to speak this into existence because I'm gaining such good traction, but this is happening to other women in this space who have come on YouTube and on social media about their experience and healing themselves. That's why you guys are not able to find the content, because it's not favorable. So we are almost to summer, y'all. It's almost hot girl summer. We on this hot girl health journey, right? I can't wait to see y'all in another video. Until next time, I love you guys. Take care of yourself.